see, I am going to explain structure of a Java program. Whatever sections you have to include while writing Java program, those are inside this structure. Okay, now structure of a Java program. First section is always documentation section. Okay, here you can write documentation about that program. That is the first section, that is. Now next section is a package statement. Now next one is the import statement. Is there interface definitions and then class definitions. Okay, that's it. And inside that class definitions, one class will have main method. Okay, one class should have main method because that is the execution point. Inside that class definition, any one class will have, means any number of classes may be there. That's why any one class should have a main method. Now here main, I am writing as a sub part of this class, like main method definition. Getting, these are just parts of or sections of a Java program. One by one I am going to explain. Okay, now see, the first is a documentation section. Documentation section is always optional part. This is not compulsory part. If you want to write any documentation about your program, then you have to insert that using comment. There are basically three types of comments: single line, multi-line and documentation comment. Single line style you already know, like this one, 2 slashes, forward slashes you have to write. After that, whatever string you are writing, that will be considered as a comment till the end of that line. Okay, next one is a multi-line, slash star star slash. Inside that any number of lines you can put, and documentation comment is like slash star star and star slash. That is a documentation comment. That is the new comment style in Java, not present in C++. Now next is a package statement. If you want to create any package, then only you have to write this package statement. Now see, whatever class definitions, whatever classes you are writing in this program, Java program can have any number of classes but can have only one package. Okay, all those classes you can store inside any one package. Then that package statement you need to write there. How to write that package statement? Just write package keyword. Package is a keyword, and then write any package name. Let I am giving here P1 name. Okay, in this way you have to write package statement. Here you are not importing this package. You are just writing that, you are just mentioning that whatever classes I am defining here, those are inside this P1 package. Those we have to store inside this P1 package. If we have not written this statement, no problem will be there. Again our program will run fine. But these classes, whatever classes you are writing in your program, those are considered as a part of default package. Getting? Package is nothing but a collection of classes. Keep in mind, if you want to group together multiple classes, then you have to just create a package. Next one is import statement. This is very much important. See, I am giving one example here, java.util package, and inside that there is a collection. Collection means it is a group. Okay, like array. Array is a collection of multiple elements of same data type. In the same way, there is a array list concept. If we want to create any object of that array list class, array list is a inbuilt class, then we have to write like array list, let A, I am writing, A is the name of that object. Array list A equals to new array list. And here we have to write open close round bracket and give semicolon. This is nothing but creation of object. In case of Java, we have to compulsory write this new, then class name, then open close bracket, semicolon. It is compulsory in Java. In C++, we write just this statement. In Java, we have to compulsory write this. because all the objects are always stored on heap section. Okay, keep in mind, if we are just writing this part only and giving semicolon, that the meaning of that statement is we are just creating object reference, we are not creating that object. Okay, compulsory we have to write this new and then class. Next, here I want to use this statement in my Java program. Then this array list is not known to that Java program because this is not in that lang package. By default, that system.lang package will be used. But see, if we are using this array list, this is a class, this is a inbuilt class, and this is inside java.util package. If we want to use this class in our program, then we have to compulsory import that java.util package in our program, then only we can use this class in our program. Okay, otherwise we have to write statement like this. Java.util.arraylist. Again here you have to write java.util.arraylist, means whatever classes you are using, that full name you have to specify there, means descriptive name with package, with class, with everything you have to write using dot operator. If you are writing in this way everywhere that java.util.arraylist, java.util.arraylist, if you are creating that scanner class, then if you have not imported your that java.util package, again that is having that scanner class. Scanner is again inside that java.util. If you are not writing that, then while declaring that scanner object, you have to again write java.util.scanner, then s equal to new, again java.util.scanner. Okay, instead of that, the better way is you have to first import that class and then use it. Okay, otherwise if you are not importing that, import that package or any individual class from that package also you can import. Okay, how? I am going to explain. Now see, if you are not writing this thing, then compiler will of course will give you error. This is unknown to that compiler. Okay. Now to import any inbuilt packages, sub packages or classes, you have to compulsory write this import statement. Now see, sub package is there again. If you want to import any class from any sub package, then you have to compulsory strictly write that full sub package statement in import. Getting my point? See, sub pack, if you have just written this statement, let import java dot, let util I am writing, util dot, because you know util. Okay, java.util.star. It is not like that java.util is a package and it is having only classes. It is not like that. Any package can have internal sub packages. If there is any sub package inside this java.util package, then if you have written like this, then only classes from that util package will be useful to you. Means these all star represents all classes from that util package. If you have written this statement, means you can use all classes from this java.util package in your program. Okay, but if this package is having any sub package, then whatever classes from that sub package you cannot use in your program. Means here you are just importing classes from that package. If it is having any sub package and inside that again there are some classes, those you cannot use. For that you have to write that separate statement. If you have written java.util.scanner, scanner means only scanner class you can use in your program from that package. If you have written here star instead of scanner, all classes from that that java.util package you can use. Getting? Actually, this is the better way to import individual classes. If you are using only scanner class, then just import that java.util.scanner. That is the better way than writing star. Star means it will import all the classes. Then of course the length of that code will automatically increase. Getting? In this way, you can write import statement to use inbuilt functionality provided by Java. Whatever library classes, those are, see, we have seen that JDK is nothing but JRE plus library classes. Those library classes are having those inbuilt functionalities in the form of packages and sub packages and classes. Getting? It doesn't mean that one package is there, let package P1 is there. P1 may have some classes. Let P1 is having one C1 class, C2 class, C3 class. It may have one sub package like P2. Again P2 will have internally let D1 class, D2 class. Getting? See, if we want to use all classes from this P1 package in our program, then we have to write statement like import P1 dot star. If we are writing P1 dot star, it doesn't mean that we can use this one again, this one. No, we can use only these classes. That's why we have to write statement like import P1 dot star. If we are writing like this, then a compulsory remember its meaning is we can use only classes from that package, not sub packages. If we want to just use these classes again, then we have to write separate statement, separate import statement for those sub packages like import P1 dot P2 dot star. This is the most important point. Always keep in mind. If you want to use any sub package, any classes from any sub package, then compulsory you have to write this statement. Then only you can use these D1 and D2 classes in your program. If you have written only this, it doesn't mean like this whole will be imported in your program. This is a very much important point, and there is always confusion in students' mind that students can think P1 dot star means everything from that P1. Not like that. P1 dot star means all classes from that P1, but not the classes from the sub packages. If any sub package inside that P1, those sub packages may have any number of classes, but those classes you cannot use using this statement. For that you have to write this separate statement. Getting? In this way. Now this is a import statement. In case of C and C++, we use that header file hash include preprocessor directive. Here we have to use import statement. Getting? Any doubts in this? Now next, interface. Actually interface is just like a class. Here we have to just declare multiple methods. Actually we can say that it is just a blueprint to create class. Blueprint to create class means what? See, if any class you want to just represent what is the structure of that class, that you can represent with the help of interface. Getting my point? Means in interface we are not defining anything, we are just declaring. Interface is a concept that is just like a class, but what in inside class we have to write all the methods, or we have to define all the methods. Interface is just like a class, but in that interface we cannot define any method. Those definitions should be defined by any class, whatever written inside interface. Because we have written any interface, let interface X, and that X is having some method definitions, declaration, sorry, not definition. Let we have written like this interface. Actually we have to see this in a separate session, totally interface concept. Interface let X, and here we have written like void, just actual syntaxes I am not following here, just I am giving some idea about that interface. Void add is a method, suppose there, here one add method, only one method I am writing. Let class C1 I have created, like class C1, here we have to write implements X. What does it mean? Whatever present in X, that we have to define in this class C1. See, actually this interface concept we have to use in multiple inheritance. See, Java doesn't follow that multiple inheritance, not having that multiple inheritance. Now multiple inheritance means there are multiple classes, and from that we are creating only one class. Here we can write multiple interfaces, and those all interfaces can be implemented by single class. In that way we can achieve that multiple inheritance using interface concept. Getting? Means see, here see interface X is having add method. Suppose interface Y is having subtraction for that sub method, and I want that this class C1 should have both the methods in it. That is actually the multiple inheritance. Means we can write here class C1 implements X, implements Y, both. Means this will have both the features of x and y. In that way we can achieve multiple inheritance using this interface concept. That part totally, that is a separate session. I will explain in any different session. Okay, any doubts in this? Interface is just like a blueprint to represent class, I am saying, not object. This definition you have to first write before class. Actually all these are, means this documentation section is optional, this package statement is again optional, this import statement is again optional. If you want any inbuilt functionality to use, then only you have to write this import statement. Interface is again optional. Now next one is class definition. Our main function is our program. Java program can have any number of classes, but at least one class should be there. Okay, and that class should have a main method that we have already seen in that hello world. Means class definition means here you have to write, you have to define classes. Okay, like class, and here you have to specify name of that class. Let I am writing here C1, and here this is a collection of data members and methods. Those data members you have to write here one by one, and after that you have to write methods. But just like C++, you cannot write that access specifier like private colon, public colon, in that way not. For every member of a class separately we have to specify that access modifier, whether it is public, private, protected. One thing you have to keep in mind, because you know C++, that's why in C++ we can define methods inside class or outside class. In Java there is a compulsion that we have to define all the methods inside class only. There is no way to define methods outside the class. Compulsory, remember. Okay, and this is all about structure of a Java program. Any doubts? Okay.